Alhamdulillah, I used Ramadan to change my life year after year, and it's the perfect time to change it. So as we're reaching the end of this amazing, blessed, game-changing month, I want to tell you how you can use Ramadan to change your life as well. So some people like to make big goals and see a big milestone in the new year, whether that's the Gregorian year, usually like 2025, etc., or the Hijri one, even though I haven't heard of many people doing that. But for some reason, I always use Ramadan as that new year kind of feel for me. The reason being is Ramadan was always a different period of my life, and for everyone else it is the same. The whole routine changes, the whole mindset changes in that time. And so when I'm in the best mindset of the year potentially, that's when I like to make my plans, think about my future, and really ride the wave of Ramadan in order to make big changes, plan big changes, and dream. You see, every year I do these Ramadan planning workshops where I help people to plan out their Ramadan. And one thing that I consistently say is that Ramadan is the training ground for the rest of the year. What that means is that because the shayateen are locked up, and because the atmosphere around you is so good at pushing you towards doing good, you need to push yourself to do a lot of good in Ramadan so you get used to it and you feel how it feels to do that much good, so that when you're really on the field, you can perform. When the shayateen are now unlocked and they're after you, you're stronger because of what you did in the training ground. So here are a few practical things you can do. Number one is take some of the good habits that you've been doing in Ramadan and try and continue them after Ramadan. What could this be? It could be reading Quran every day, even if it's not the same amount as in Ramadan, but you're used to reading from Ramadan, so continue reading after Ramadan, even a short amount. The other thing you can continue is fasting. Make sure you fast once a week, for example, on a Monday or on a Thursday, or fast 3 days of the month, or fast twice a week, whatever you can do. Start with something small and just do it every single year. I've talked about in the past how if you fast once a week, plus you fast Ramadan, plus you fast the different days that are recommended like Ashura, etc., you will end up fasting a huge portion of your life, alhamdulillah. And that's amazing. If Allah accepts that from you, that's amazing. That's Babul Rayyan, like straight up. So continue the habits, but also take advantage of the extra reflection that inshallah you've been doing in Ramadan, and especially in these last 10 nights. You've been thinking about the Quran, you've been thinking about maybe watching a YouTube series or something which is reminding you of the reality of life, reminding you of what's important in life. So now is the time to really reflect and think, what am I doing in my life? How can I make this next year amazing? How can I live an above average life, a life of significance, of impact, of growth? And you don't do that without breaking your routine, which alhamdulillah you've done in Ramadan. So this is the time to really take that reflection and turn it into real plans for your life. Next year plans, but also longer term plans. If you don't know exactly what you want to achieve in life that will give you that impact and that significance, then think of a general direction and work towards it in this first year, in this coming year. Think about, if I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I want to take, for example, I'm a doctor and I want to take those skills that I have and the experience that I have to benefit the ummah beyond just doing my day-to-day job. What steps could I take to dip my toes in the water of that world? Could it be volunteering during my holidays in another country? Could it be shadowing someone who's done that? Could it be going to a charity and learning about it, whatever it is? What steps could I take in that general direction so that by this time next year, I've got a more concrete idea of what I want to do to have an impact in the world? And then once you've got this fresh perspective on what you want to do, what big goals you want to achieve in your life, now is the perfect time to make dua for it. And this is amazing because you can make dua for Allah to give you guidance and give you clarity of what you should and want to be doing. So even if you don't have an exact thing to make dua for, you can just ask Allah for good, and you can ask Him to open the way for you, and can ask Him for inspiration of what you can do to serve Him. Ask Allah just to serve Him. Ya Allah, let me serve you. Ya Allah, put me in a position where I can serve you. Like Musa said, and this is in the Quran, Inni bima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. Whatever good you can give me, I'm in need of that. And that is when Allah gave him the chance to help those women who were trying to get their sheep water. So when he asked Allah for good, Allah gave him good in the form of being able to do good for other people. So this is a time of crazy dua, not just dua for the akhirah, but dua for the things that could be vehicles for you having the best place in the akhirah. So ask Allah to give you success in doing what pleases Him and in having an impact in the world, and ask Allah for ikhlas, for sincerity in that as well. So yes, Ramadan is a time to break out of the norm, to break out of your routine, to do something different. But in that time, take advantage of it by breaking out beyond just Ramadan. Take new habits that you did in Ramadan and implement them outside of Ramadan. Take a new perspective with you out of Ramadan and then take action on those bigger goals in life. And make dua in Ramadan that inshallah will be accepted and will propel you forward outside of Ramadan. And in order to break out of the monotony and the average life that you might be living and you might be waking up to right now, you need one thing, and that is to take action. You need to take more action. You need to be more of a doer, not a procrastinator, a thinker, a planner. You need to be a doer. This is the secret to going from average life, NPC life, whatever you want to call it, to being a high performer. A high performer is simply someone who, when they want to do something, they plan it and inshallah, they do it. They don't let the barriers get in their way. And then after you become a high performer, you do what you say and plan to do, you can become a leader. And beyond just a leader to yourself, to your immediate family, you could be a leader to your wider family, to your local community, and inshallah to the ummah. But the number one ingredient to becoming a high performer and a leader is to become an action taker. And I noticed this with myself, and I had to fight hard to get out of thinking and planning mode and learning mode and into action mode. And I still wrestle with it today, but alhamdulillah, I've made certain mindset shifts that have really helped me out. And that's also why when I decided on a project that I wanted to do going forward in the future beyond my existing business, it was to help brothers with this. So that's why I have the front row where I help people to get past the 3 barriers that stop them taking action and becoming high performers and living that life of just growth, significance, and just feel like you got that killer instinct. And I uncovered the things that I didn't realize, but they actually helped me break out of that. It was accountability, it was coaching, it was mentorship, alongside other few things. So if you're interested in getting that kind of help and becoming more of an action taker, a high performer, a leader, then we can help you with that if you want. Click the link below and you can learn more there. And with that, may Allah give you the best Ramadan, not just a Ramadan that you get amazing ajr for in this month, but what goes beyond this month. And it becomes a month, we always say it's a blessed month, it's a month of barakah. And what does barakah mean? It means 1 and 1 goes in, but 2 doesn't come out. 5 comes out, 6 comes out, 10 comes out because of the barakah that Allah's put in that thing. That's what barakah means. It means having more than what is expected. So if you really want barakah in your Ramadan, you should be thinking about what could go into Ramadan and then come out as a 10x, 100x. And with that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.